Have you ever stopped to ask why some women walk alone? No boyfriend, no partner, not even the appearance of searching. It's not heartbreak. It's not bitterness. And it's certainly not because no one wanted her. The truth is far more uncomfortable. She didn't disappear from the world. She stepped back to return to herself. She's not getting lost. She's getting clear. And clarity, real clarity, doesn't come with praise or applause. It comes with silence, with solitude, with a kind of freedom that unsettles people because it cannot be bought, borrowed, or broken. She's not cold. She's not bitter. She simply stopped burning for people who never brought warmth of their own. She's not lonely. She's discerning. And that discernment, it terrifies people who've built their lives around being needed, because a woman who no longer needs to be saved becomes dangerous. She threatens every lie we were told about what a woman should be: dependent, devoted, waiting. She rewrites the script we inherited, one where love is the prize and self-abandonment is the price. Carl Jung once said that what we repress becomes part of our shadow. Women like her are the shadow society avoids, the silent rebellion, the living contradiction to everything we were conditioned to believe. She doesn't beg for love. She doesn't dress her wounds for display. She doesn't perform softness to attract attention. She preserves it. She protects her energy like it's sacred, because it is. And instead of chasing comfort in someone else, she chose the discomfort of facing herself. That kind of woman doesn't make noise. She makes shifts. She doesn't crave a fairy tale. She craves peace. And not the performative peace that comes from pretending everything is okay. The real kind, the quiet, grounded, soul-deep kind that doesn't shrink to keep others comfortable. That makes her a disruption, a quiet one, but a disruption nonetheless, because while the world rushes toward relationships like lifeboats, she walks calmly into her own ocean. She trusts her depth. She respects her own stillness, and she knows that being alone doesn't mean being empty. No, her solitude is not absence. It is presence, unapologetic, undiluted presence. And people hate what they can't label. They call her cold, arrogant, damaged, but she knows better. She knows they're not speaking about her. They're speaking about the part of themselves they're too afraid to face. Jung said, what we don't confront in ourselves, we project onto others. And that's why this woman, this silent force, is misunderstood. She's not a warning. She's a mirror. She doesn't reject love. She rejects the versions of it that demand she shrink. She once gave too much, once stayed too long, once accepted too little, but no more. Her boundaries are not walls. They are gates with locks only opened by truth. She doesn't ask for much, just presence, depth, and authenticity. But to a world addicted to the shallow, that feels like too much. Because she isn't impressed by charm, she's not drawn to promises, she's magnetized by presence, by intention, by the courage to be real. And that's why many won't reach her. Not because she's unreachable, but because she refuses to lower herself to be grasped. She's not playing hard to get. She's hard to fake it with. And when people say she's intimidating, what they really mean is, I don't know how to control her. But she's not here to be controlled. She's here to be. And that's enough. Her solitude isn't a void. It's a sanctuary. And she protects it fiercely. Because she remembers what it felt like to betray herself for connection. She remembers the ache of being surrounded and unseen. She's not interested in repeating that story, not for attention, not for sex, not for a fleeting moment of comfort. She walked through fire to reclaim herself. She faced her abandonment, her trauma, her ancestral pain, not in a therapist's office alone, but in the quiet nights, the empty mornings, the silent battles no one ever saw. And from that silence, she emerged, not angry, not broken, just awake. She didn't choose this path because it's easy. She chose it because it's honest. And honesty is a rare currency in a world built on emotional shortcuts and curated facades. So when she says no, it's not a rejection. It's a declaration, I know who I am. And when she walks away, it's not drama, it's discipline. She doesn't crave validation. She creates space. She doesn't chase love. She honors it. And she doesn't settle, ever again. Because the woman who's returned to herself no longer negotiates her worth. She's not above love. She's just done mistaking proximity for intimacy. She doesn't want someone to fix her. She wants someone who's fixed themselves, and she'll wait. Not because she's stubborn, but because she knows the difference between being chosen and being convenient. Most people love out of fear. She loves out of fullness. That's why she waits. That's why she protects herself. Not because she's closed, but because she's sacred. She's not angry at men. She's not angry at love. She's just no longer willing to pay for it with her identity. Jung said that the tree that reaches to heaven must have roots in hell. And she knows this. She's lived it. She's been to hell and back in her own psyche, and now that she's seen herself clearly, no one can make her invisible again. She doesn't need to be everything to someone, she just needs to be herself, fully, completely. And if someone can't meet her there, she doesn't fight for space. She leaves. Her energy is no longer up for negotiation, because when a woman stops begging for love, she becomes love. She radiates it. She embodies it. She holds it in her silence, in her walk, in her presence. Not for the world, but for herself. And that's what terrifies people most. Not her independence, but her peace. Her refusal to be defined by the absence of another. The woman who lives alone isn't waiting. She's choosing. She's not single because she's broken. She's single because she's whole. And whole women don't chase. They attract what aligns. She's rewriting what it means to be feminine. No longer passive, no longer pleasing, but powerful, purposeful, rooted. Her life is no longer a performance. It's a practice, a devotion to truth, a refusal to abandon herself again. And the love that meets her there won't be ordinary. It will be sacred. Not because it completes her, but because it doesn't ask her to be less. So if you've heard her story and felt something move inside you, a whisper, a pull, a quiet ache, that's not coincidence. That's the part of you she's calling home. Because deep down, you've always known. The woman who chooses herself first never really walks alone.